In Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." When the writer of Hebrews penned those words, believers were under real pressure. They were losing jobs, losing their homes, reputation, and even their safety was at risk because of what they believed. Faith wasn't an Instagram quote or a positive mindset. It was conviction, the kind of conviction that holds you steady when your world is shaking. Today, our faith is tested differently. Maybe it's not persecution by empire like Rome, but persecution by pressure. The pressure to conform, to blend in, to be open-minded, open-minded at the cost of your conviction. But truth doesn't bend, even when the culture calls it rigid. It stays steady and unbending. Faith is what holds you steady when the trends around are shifting and people around you are drifting. And that's the voice of truth. That's the voice of truth within you. That's the voice of truth within me. It's conviction, not convenience. So remember that faith is the conviction that sees beyond. Family, this is the daily furnace of truth. Family, this is where truth is refined. If we go to Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 to 7, it says, "These words that I command you today shall be on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise." You can notice how practical that instruction is. Moses wasn't speaking to priests or just to prophets. No, he was speaking to the parents. He was speaking to families. He was speaking to households. He was telling them, truth starts at home. Truth starts in your homes, not in the synagogue, not in the place of worship, not in the palace, but in the conversations at the dinner table, in bedtime prayers, in bedtime stories, in how you respond when life disappoints you right in front of your children. That's when truth starts. Like I've mentioned, family is the furnace where truth is either forged or forgotten. If you make truth a priority in your family, it will be forged right there. So, faith, family, and the next thing I want to talk about is freedom. Freedom is the unseen revolution. So when we go to John chapter 8 verse 32, it says, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." You see, when Jesus said this, when he made that statement, his audience got defensive. They said, we've never been slaves to anyone. But something ironic about that, because they were living under Roman occupation at that very moment when Jesus made that statement, and when they responded by saying that we've never been slaves to anyone. But Jesus didn't point out the irony in this statement, because he wasn't talking about Rome. He was talking about a deeper slavery, the one inside of each one of them. See, freedom is not the absence of chains, it is the absence of control by sin. It is when you no longer live at the mercy of temptation, guilt, fear, or public opinion. That's true freedom. See, in our world today, freedom has been rebranded as autonomy, the right to do whatever you feel. But that's not freedom, that's drift, that's drifting. True freedom is direction, the ability to walk in the light of truth, not stumble in the dark of self. The truth that Jesus was talking about doesn't just open prison doors. It changes who you are when you walk out of that prison. Freedom is not doing what you want. It's being who you were made to be. Faith, family, freedom. These are the pillars of truth. If these pillars of truth can be shaken, if they can be distorted, then lies wins the day. Then people are not convicted by truth, but they're being led by convenience, by what they feel and what feels good to them. See, truth, the kind that Jesus embodied, doesn't need marketing. It just needs a voice.